Alright, so, bunkering. What is it? How does it work? What is a bunker? I asked that question already, but maybe some people didn't hear me, so I've repeated it just for you, don't worry. Well, bunkering's simple, and I'm going to go over everything that you might need to know about bunkering in this video. I'm going to start with Driller, because he is the main character of bunkering, and I'm going to explain some general character tips that you might want to play around with and use when you make bunkers. So, I'm going to start like I did with my other Greenbeard's Guide to High Hazards video with going over the loadout. This is just a general loadout, but it can be adapted in any way using bunkers, and every single weapon that Driller has is great for bunkering, and it has its own type of practicality depending on what you bring. So I'm going to go over a sticky flame build, which I think this is also the build that I went over in my Greenbeard's Guide video. So if you didn't watch that, go check it out. But I'm basically going to go over in a much more simpler format and just explain why everything works well for bunkers in a very quick, small section of the video. So, primary, sticky flames. You're going to be using sticky flames to create tunnels of fire, and I'll show you those tunnels of fire when we get into the game in a few minutes and I demonstrate it. That's the same build, upgrades, and everything from the previous videos, so if you want to learn more about that, go watch that. If you want a good secondary for bunkering, I actually recommend the experimental plasma charger or the diffuser with the buffoonery with the Colette wave cooker, because they're both good at killing hordes of grunts. The only problem with that is if you do that, you're not going to have great single target, because you're not going to bring axes if you plan on bunkering a lot. You're actually going to bring the spring-loaded Ripper instead. So that's why I have the Sabata equipped, so that I can handle single targets that may happen to come down the tunnel. If there's a Praetorian spraying, I'll stun it, and then it's no longer spraying. It'll get cooked by the fire, or I'll throw a spring-loaded Ripper in there after it's stunned, and it'll get shredded to bits. Speaking of them, spring-loaded Ripper, you're going to go in a tunnel, you're going to throw the spring-loaded Ripper at one of the walls, it's going to go around and around and around, and everything's going to get turned into a meat grinder. It's going to be beautiful. Satchel charges, you're going to want maximum ammo, and you're going to want maximum range on your digging, because you need to be able to make many bunkers, and you need to be able to make very big bunkers. The other upgrades don't really help with bunkers whatsoever. These are all you need. Obviously, kill switch you're going to have, right? But 4 gives you the opportunity to have a bigger bigger number of bunkers, is what I'm saying. Drills, you just want to bring fuel, I guess. You don't need that much dig rate, but if you want to make long bunkers, you want a lot of fuel. Flare, it's a flare. Pickaxe doesn't matter. I just use what I always use for everyone else. Your perks don't really matter for a bunker. If you wanted to bring the Molly perk, oh wait, it's not an active one. If you wanted to bring Veteran Depositor, you can put Molly inside of your bunker and get that 30% damage reduction since you're not going anywhere. So if you plan to bunker a lot, you could bring Veteran Depositor. It's not a bad trick. If you need to get out of a bunker, a good tactic is dash. Dash is helpful for that. If you die in a bunker, See You in Hell's not bad. Everything else here, Steve, you're gonna kill in your bunker. Or you're not gonna. Cave leeches aren't in your bunker. Shield Link isn't bad because you are gonna be near each other inside of that bunker when you're with a team, and you're gonna get that 50% shield recharge better. So, not a bad pick there either. Berserker is kind of mid. Everything's coming down that tunnel, but power attacking numerous grunts doesn't really work unless you have the wider spread upgrade on your pickaxe. Hover boots, I don't need to explain hover boots. You're not going to use them in a bunker. Other perks that you could use, thorns. If you're driller, you're probably going to be up front. You might take some damage. You want to reflect that. Or if a swarmer gets through your hole and you don't feel like turning to pickaxe it, just take thorns. Everything else here is kind of not necessary. You could take Born Ready if you want to switch weapons and then have the other one come back loaded when you're shooting. Friendly is not really necessary, but if everyone's shooting through that same tunnel and you happen to be near or in front or in it, you might take a lot of damage, so you could take Friendly, but I don't really recommend it for that. Resupplyer's not bad because if you're going to bunker, you're probably going to put a resupply in that bunker. So, you know, not bad. Yeah. that's about it for your perks and your equipment. I'm now going to get into the mission, which I'm going to do an egg hunt, for example, here, and it's got rival presence on it, but I just think I'll be okay, because fire's not too bad. So we're going to drop into this mission, double check the drink, backbreaker stout, I'll pass. We'll hop in here, slap the dice, rock and stone, and I will see you in the mission.
Gonna crack that meteorite in no time at all.
Trackers online. Load up. We're bound to have incoming. The equipment's under attack. Put those guns to use.
Bosco! Bosco! Eat that!
Alright, so after that interruption, excuse you, Molly, we will finally be getting on to the primary objective of this mission, which is collecting the alien eggs. To do that, I'm going to bunker. I'm actually quite low on ammo, but I have a lot of bunker supplies, which is your drill fuel and your C4 count, and I'm going to make the bunker right next to this egg so that it's conveniently... Are you kidding me right now? As I was saying, we are going to make the bunker right next to the egg for convenient access, so I'm going to dig in a straight line, making sure I keep myself level at 0. And now I'm going to overheat like a buffoon. Now what you want to make sure you do properly with your bunkers is that you need to make sure your tunnel is a line that is completely straight or mostly straight, so that when you have a teammate that shoots down it, it is very concise. All the enemies aren't going to be coming around a corner because you made a turn in your tunnel by accident. So usually 1 dig length or 1.5 dig lengths is a good time to plop a C4 in. It's good to pickaxe the top pit here, jump in, throw your C4 there. And what this will do is create a nice area that isn't deep, it's flat. There's a lot of good area to sit in here. You can have an engineer set up a platform here with a sentry gun. And what you want to do as the driller player is give yourself a little spot like this to sit in. Or what you could do is drill just a tiny bit like here, so that when you are setting fuel on the ground, like so, your friends in the background can shoot over your head. Now Molly is a little in the way here, but let's say you had veteran depositor. You can put Molly right here, and you're gonna get that veteran depositor bonus while bunkering down. I'm gonna demonstrate how this is effective against... Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, so after both interruptions, I think we can finally get started on the main objective. Goodness. So this is a bit lengthy for a flamethrower build. As you can see, if I shoot down here, you can only get so far on the tunnel, which is pretty damn close to the entrance, but not exactly at the entrance. And it's also a little harder to aim all the way at the entrance when you do this. So this is the most basic of bunkers, but I'm going to show you how you can adapt this bunker to be even greater than what it is. So, for example, if you do this, you go into the back of your bunker, and you create like a spiral staircase, kind of. Go back down. Now, this is where your scout could go. In case that area gets clustered down there, he can shoot from up here if anything gets really close to you. He doesn't have line of sight on this, but what you can do is adjust the height. Excuse me, Bosco. You can adjust the height so he can see more and more. But what this will do if you do that is now you've destroyed the spot where Engineer puts his turrets, right? Another important thing to note if you're doing a bunker is you need a way out of that bunker. So you need to look at the terrain scanner and make a path that is going to be able to make you get a safe escape if a bulk detonator is crawling in from the outside. Or an oppressor if shit gets bad. So it's good to make a pre-tunnel escape that doesn't fully expose the outside of your bunker, because if you do leak outside, then that's another path that bugs are going to come at you from. Now, what might also happen is that if you make it too long, like I'm doing, you might also experience bugs spawning in your exit tunnel, and so you might not want to fully dig an exit tunnel, but maybe get like a start. Dig to like there, so you have a head start and can escape if you need one. I don't think I will because I haven't seen a bulk detonator yet, but I'm leaking it to show you and demonstrate what you should do if you've noticed there are oppressors or there are bulk detonators in my game, because then you'll know you have an escape route when the time comes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Bosco grab that egg, and I'm going to grab this one. We're going to demonstrate the effectiveness of this bunker. Where's Molly? There she is. Oh boy, right on schedule. So I'm gonna light the path as I walk backwards, and you want to make sure to cover all 4 walls, including the ceiling. Now, wardens might get through. There's it. But, as you can see, with the combo of sticky flames and the fire slowing them down, naturally, that guy's not gonna last. Bam. So as it burns out, you want to make another layer. And I appear to have run out of bullets. Ah! I have fucked up. This is what happens when you make too much space. So I'm going to now use that emergency exit. Oh god, let me out. I'm actually going to use the emergency exit as a bunker itself, as I'm going to call a resupply right here. A bunker can be anything between a long tunnel and a long tunnel with an explosive at the end of it. The super shredders are very effective at cleaning out bugs in an emergency situation like this. Where did that egg go? That's a nemesis! Oh boy. Okay, so this is getting a little out of hand, but this is a good example of what can go wrong in these bunkers, but that's why you make the emergency tunnel like I did. Now, there's a nemesis there, and he's destroying the emergency exit tunnel, so we are going to go back into the main section that we dug out.
The wave is almost over. Wipe out what's left.
And I would like to identify where he is. So let's see if I can get a good view. Okay, he's digging in. Trying to get him with these, but I don't know if we're going to be successful. This is kind of bad. We've got an oppressor coming in that way. I'm going to just dig over this way to get away. That's the beauty of Driller, right? You can just go anywhere. Make your own escape routes. Now in this mission I had a nemesis and an oppressor. Those are both reasons why you make that escape. But I'm going to demonstrate. Well, that demonstrated pretty well what can go wrong with a bunker, and I'm kind of glad because I needed to show you how not to do it successfully. Alright, so, as stuff explodes in the background, I'm going to now cut into the wall again at a straight line, making sure I keep my arrows roughly on that 0 there. And I'm just going to do 1 this time. I'm just going to do 1 dig cycle, and I'm going to throw a C4 here, just like I did before. And now we have this. Same thing as before, you're going to dig down a spot for yourself here so you can shoot from. Run! Ouch! Ouch, 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 ouch.
Your ride home is on the way.
Good thing to waypoint your bunker if you lose it, too. Waypoint is taking out the laser pointer and then pressing the reload button. If you're on console, that's X, or it's left control if you're on PC. We're going to give this guy a stun so he stops spewing at me. We're going to give him a bonk. The drop pod has arrived, but I'm going to sit in my bunker and wait for Molly to get there, and then we will take the emergency exit, and we will leave. It doesn't have to be used in an emergency situation. So I hear some bugs. I'm going to spray it down. Now, you don't have to cover all 4 walls, but it definitely increases your damage dealt at the same time because all 4 ticks are happening to them. And also, you are going to hit everything more effectively. Oh, see, I didn't get a tranquilizer there. That's unfortunate. Of course, stun bullets is a chance, so it might not always happen. So I'm going to cover my tracks here and put down fire. And then I'm going to dig to the drop pod. Make sure you look at your terrain scanner before digging so you don't fall off a cliff like that. I checked and I generally understood where I had to dig. I knew that I was going to break the ground and eventually land on some small section.
Drop pod departing in T-minus 4
I'm
minutes.
coming. Ka-choo. Oh, I didn't make it.
That's 1 for the books.
Cool.
Retrieving
So that
escape
is
pod.
a good demonstration of bunkers on an egg hunt. I'm going to next show you a quick mission on a salvage operation and demonstrate how bunkering a fuel cell or a antenna node black box is also an effective strategy. Okay,
Supplies are on the way.
so what I have done is I have dug down and I'm now calling a resupply to bring down the uplink. However, if this doesn't work, what you can do is simply drill down your uplink with your drills. It almost came down perfectly. I'd say that was a mild success. Now I just gotta drop the rest of the box. There we go. We'll come on down all the way. There we go, beautiful. So now we have this box down here at the bottom of this hole. This is what we call a vertical bunker. The simple answer is it's a bunker but up and down. That's it. That's the only difference. So, escape tunnels are a little hard on this mission because if you don't complete the objective, you fail, right? If you escape the zone too long, you die. So, you can't exactly do that. What you can do, though, is make areas like this that are super wide and open at the bottom for your team to fight in should something come down. Now, if you have an engineer player, they can put a cap on the top of this, and then nothing can get you unless it's a bulk detonator or an oppressor or a nemesis that can dig and attack you that way. Other than that, you're safe. Unless a dreadnought shows up, but I don't think those show up on these types of missions, so you should be fine. I've never had it happen unless it's a deep dive in which then, yes, they can coincide with one another, but other than that, what you're going to want to do is stand up here and light that tunnel up so that when they try to come down it, they all come down through that tunnel of fire up at the top and they get screwed. I'm going to build the uplink and show everyone what I'm talking about. By the way, for this mission, you could bring the spring-loaded Ripper. It's just a little harder to actually hit with the spring-loaded Ripper. So I accidentally left it on because I was just trying to get into this mission for you guys, but I will probably switch to axes if I do this type of mission, so you can do whatever you want, so it's a preference, but if you do want to hit a spring-loaded Ripper from this angle, it would probably be like this. Well, okay, everything is spawning down here. This is both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is I can create fire all around us. But the bad thing is they're spawning down here. This is not what's supposed to be happening. I will simply recommend that don't dig your area too big or this will happen yet again, or don't dig it too far down or this will happen, because the bugs don't care. Really? You didn't get it? Oh, okay, there it was. Such a goofy little saw blade. Ideally, you want them to come down from here, you go like that, spray up at the top. Now, if you want, really quickly in your items over here, you can take the farther reach and that'll help you get the distance for your flames to set them down. But looks like that won't be really mattering on this mission. Well, it went up the tunnel like I wanted it to. That's how you would get them to come up. What's that? Oh, poor Warden. Oops, don't blow that up. He got grinded up clean.
Remote control reestablished. Stand by, sending in fresh fuel cells.
You know, you blow that C4 up, that's a expressway to death. So this one was a little bit of a disappointment, but I will go back up and show you all the next better attempt at this. I like to demonstrate the first failure before actually demonstrating the success to help people realize what they need to do correctly the second time.
Fuel cells have arrived.
So before you dig your fuel cells down, really? Rude. It's important to grab this fuel line and actually connect it before you dig it down. Otherwise, you have to make a path for this to go all the way up and then bugs will spawn in that path. And what I'm gonna do is, I think this still works. No, it doesn't. You used to be able to stand on top of the fuel cells and then dig them down. Now you gotta do it like this. Gotta try to squeeze down in there with them. You can make it work. Gotta get a little tight, but, you know, you're small. Squeeze in there. You're a dwarf. So I want to make sure that this doesn't go into the other failed attempts. So I have to be a little more careful with how I do this. But I also need it to be deep enough so that there's a long tunnel for the bugs to come down. Also, it's important that when you dig down, you don't crush yourself on accident with the fuel line, because that will instantly kill you. And in my case, I will have to use Iron Will and find some way to get health. I actually don't know how I would do that, because I don't have a resupply right now. I think that's a substantial digging. So now what you do is you just put fire down. And then when it starts up, they'll be screwed. It's a little harder to use the flamethrower going upwards, I will say. So this strategy is a bit riskier because it's impossible to escape without failing, but if you like bunkering and you want to combo it with an engineer platform up at the top there, you will be safe, provided nothing is destroying, making a tunnel.
Stay close to keep them operational. We're expecting
I'm going to stay
increase in
close, don't you
hostiles.
worry, Mission Control. Come and get it. Dinner's ready, Bugs. I think what's happening, by the way, is the bugs are spawning in the tunnel next to me, and they have to climb out just to get to me. Now, additionally, of course, you're going to have teammates shooting up this tunnel, so you might not have to be so crazy with your fire like I am being, where it's everywhere, but I just want to make sure it works to demonstrate the effectiveness of it. I also want to try and see if a spring-loaded Ripper could get up there and do some damage.
Let her rip.
Yes, it can.
75%. You're almost there.
Yes, it can. Granted, it only does one pass. But see how effective this is? Nothing's getting down. Everything is stuck out there. All those projectile-based enemies have a hard time getting to you because they're so tightly packed. I don't know how that guy spawned in here. Very short mistake of his life, though, because I was right here, of course. I want to make sure to keep setting down fire as it expires. And with fuel, it is reduced, but you also get plenty for what this does. So now what you can do is you can start making an escape tunnel, but I'm not going to ensure that nothing spawns down here. I usually wait till the last minute.
Artery access spooling up.
Any day, Bugs, you know, just chilling in here if you want to come get me. I think they maybe learned. But there's a lot of fun up there when I do have to leave.
Onboard mainframe booting.
Let's see if that gets anybody. Yeah. Kind of spirally, that tunnel that it made, huh? I mean, I know it's a drill, but
Orbital trajectory.
will they actually come down? Oh my god, they are. Look at that.
Let's order a supply drop.
Oh, I didn't realize I was so low on fuel. Well, it looks like they're too intimidated to come get me, or they don't have proper pathing because I'm standing on top of the fuel cells, so they don't know how. Let me try.
Guys, remember you can deposit on the sides of the drop pod.
Ecom
Oh
operational.
yeah, look at that. It started spawning guys there. Wait, but he doesn't know how to get to me there. Oh no, there it is. Oh, they're on the outside. Yeah, they just are completely lost.
Hot thrusters
If you want to save ammo, you could just do this, I guess, in a deep dive. But usually something like that will come down in a day.
I got the tri-jaw.
Alright, great escape time, here we go.
It's time to bring it all home. Get on board, we're leaving with or without you.
It's good to press tab. I know it's right there, but figure out... Oh, it doesn't show you the tray. Well, it's a good idea to remember where the tray is going to shoot out when you do a bunker. Hello. Okay, we're out. See ya.
Distraction commencing. Good work.
I was there the whole time, peekaboo, bitch. And that is bunkering, everybody. I hope this was a thorough guide. If you have questions about bunkers, let me know. I'll try to answer them. If you have questions about Deep Rock Galactic, leave a comment. I will answer them and get back to you when I have free time. I will update you folks when I have the next video selected and ready to upload. But after all this, I think that was a pretty good guide. Without further ado, my name is Logan. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.